Hey everyone, welcome to Trail Talk Live. Let us get Ricki into the room. That'll be helpful. Live on a Friday, coming to you live and direct on live. There we go. Ricki, good to see you, buddy. How's things?
All right, what's happening? What's happening? Go, go, go.
bit of a rush. Let me turn down my brightness here. Do you like my new t-shirt?
Oh, deadly, man. Deadly.
For those catching up on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, support your local meme dealer, whoever that may be. Aid Station Fireball, your boy Scott Jurek, whoever it is. But look, it's good to see you, mate. This is Trail Talk Live. I am Aaron Shimmons. This is Ricki Wynn. We're here to talk about trail and ultra running. This is our weekly live show. We also have a monthly podcast show that goes out on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. So check that out. Links are in the description. We're all about ultra trail here and the global sport, and we cover the English side of the global sport. It's not American, it's not a European. I mean, we've got Australia, we've got Asia, we've got all of these amazing races around the world, and everyone is traveling to these races and participating. So we bring you the hot takes on these things. But this week, Ricki, something a little bit different, right? We put
Yeah.
out a question box on Instagram. Ask us anything, and we got some good stuff. So let's dive straight into this because basically for the format of this show, we take about 30 minutes, and that's how long the show's going to be. And we like to crack through the questions quickly. So Ricki, I'm going to hit you with some questions. So maybe we'll start this off. I'll hit you with a question, and then you can hit me. I've shared the questions that come through on Instagram, and we'll take it from there. So we're starting off with a hot one. This is a hot one, Ricki. What is your goal time for Western States
Ah,
next
this,
year?
this, this is
You're in. What's your goal time?
a goal time, man. You know yourself. Like, look, I'm competitive, right? So, and I back myself, and for a race like that, look, I'm going to go all in on the train, and I'm going to be as ready as I can be for that race. So, I've got to go bold and say that I want sub 16 hours, like, So, like, sub 16 hours it's gotta it's gotta be close to that sort of like top 10, top 15 kind of finish, and I have to go in with that kind of a mindset. So yeah, so I'm looking at sub 16 hours.
Yeah, Molly in the chat. Western States is definitely happening. For everyone else that's viewing, Ricki is what, 30? I think you're 38th on the wait list, but we know of two or three definites that aren't taking up their spots. So you're basically 35 on the wait list. So as Troy from the Midpacker Pod says in the chat, let's fucking go. It's happening. You're booking your tickets. I'm booking my tickets. It's gonna happen. I'm looking forward to Trail Talk California style come June of next year. So over to you. Hit me with a question. What have you got?
uh Big one. Goal races for 2025 for you.
Right, it's a simple one here. I'm in two buckets. I need a hard rock qualifier for next year because my previous one lasts for 2 years, so I need to get another one for next year. So that's kind of where I'm coming from. And only two that work out with my kind of travel calendar are going to be either Tour de Jean, the 330K in September, or another race which is called Lake Biwa 100 miler in Japan in the middle of October. So those are the two races that I'm considering for next year as like the goal race. Obviously, I'm doing Ultra Trail Australia in May. I'm doing Matterhorn Ultrax in August, which is the weekend before UTMB. But the focus is get a UTMB qualifier, get a hard rock qualifier, and tick that box. So I hope that answers it. Over to you.
Yeah, but just on that, that's already, man. It's going to be such a busy year, right? Let's say two of us heading out to California for Western States, and then we're back, and then maybe Tour de France, man, and maybe I'm crewing you in Tour de France or something like that, and then, right, I'm coming over, hopefully, to the Pyrenees to run in the World Champs back for Ireland. So that's what I'm hoping. So we are looking at one hell of a year, man. It's going to be insane. Like, it's going to be incredible.
I don't know how it's all going to work out. Basically, I'm going to have to start traveling 2 weeks early because of Western states. So I don't think I can do 2 weeks early and then 2 weeks on after UTMB with a 330k. So look, it's all up in the air because you are definitely going to Western states, and that is what we're planning around for spring. So look, it's going to fall into place, and stay tuned. We will let you guys know. Um, I got a question for you. What is your race plans next year as the build up to states, with states being the focus and at the end of June? What are you going to do in the lead up to that?
Yeah, okay. So as I touched on, the World Champs is on in the Pyrenees. So for me, next year is about two things. It's about Western States, and it's about getting another green jersey to run for my country again. Because look, that to me is one of the biggest honors you can have. I think it's up there where I want to be. I want to be racing against the best in the world. So as far as I'm aware, the qualifying race for that, the venue hasn't been set. It's going to be in the mountains. I'm guessing it's going to be in the Mourne Mountains, and it's going to be an 82k race. That's the qualifier for the Worlds. So there will be a time set in place. There'll be. I'm guessing you will need to do it in a certain amount of time. You will have to finish in the top four, and then you get selected to run for your country. And so that's the way it's looking. It's looking like get off to a good start training for May 25th. I might throw in a couple of races before that. I still haven't got out and set in concrete. Head over to Western States, have a blast, do unreal at Western States, because that's like, I'm telling you, man, I'm going to have a day. I know I'm going to have a day in States. And then come home absolutely buzzing because number one, I've qualified for my country. That's on the 25th of May. A couple of days later, we fly over to Western States, 1st of June, going to be there for the whole month, going to rock it, kick ass at Western States, and then going to head for the Pyrenees on the 25th of September. I think that's when that race is. Good
You have
plans,
an
yeah.
amazing spring summer ahead. I'm excited about that. Who's next? Is it me or you? I can't remember.
You. What was another question I was going to ask? But yeah, but even for you, right? We'll say you haven't had the best of winters with your foot. So I'm just wondering how things been. I want to know how it's been biking, how it's been training, how it's been recovery wise, all to do with your injury, man. Because look, everybody here knows what it's like to be injured and want to run.
Simple one. Look, I've got a lot of love on the WhatsApp community and on Instagram about being injured and like how you're dealing with this and stuff. And honestly, I think it's been the best injury I've ever had because I sort of saw it coming for months, and I decided to take action at the end of the season and get it dealt with. So it was kind of all planned, and I felt like I was in control of it. And I've just finished essentially a full training block on the bike that I've never done before. So, like 2 sessions a week, a long ride a week, and 7 days a week riding. And I can tell you, guys, my butt is sore. Like I have sores on my bum from sitting in the saddle because I've never ever experienced like 15, 16, 17 hours a week on the bike. Like never. I only own my bikes from times when I got injured many years ago. So it's been a totally new experience, but we do it because we like the grind, and the bike can be a grind if you kind of pivot it that way. So that's how I've been dealing with it. So mentally, I'm feeling good. I'm back running 2 weeks. I think maybe this is like my third week, but we're building it up slowly because just it's the whole body's sore. So at the minute, I'm doing like 2 hours a day on the bike and 30 to 60 minutes running. So in actual sense, I'm doing more volume, so I'm a bit more tired. But we're going to slowly transition between now and the end of the month to more kind of feet and less pedals. So looking forward to that, and I can't wait. Next weekend we've got the Trail Talk group run on Sunday in the Mourne Mountains. Whenever I come back to Ireland for a week at Christmas, I'm looking forward to getting out into the hills. I'm looking forward to getting out into the hills in these boys in the new Norda 005. So I'm excited to put these on
You
and
you you
get into the
can't you
mountains.
can't get them dirty, man. You can't get them dirty. Look at them. They are so pristine, man.
Ask Nick or Will or whatever. They'll tell you these things are meant to be dirty. So that's how you're okay about getting a lovely shoe dirty. So listen, over to you.
Yeah, so on that, we're heading for the Mourne Mountains for our group run, right? Lot of group chat about this one. Are you going to be rocking Lecky poles or Black Diamond poles? Which do you prefer?
Well, I mean, I'm a lucky man all day long. This is a very controversial subject in the Trail Talk WhatsApp. Like, there's, I would say every fortnight, someone's like, "What are the best polls? Like, what do you think of this or whatever?" But look, I'm a lucky guy, and it's not because I'm dissing on Black Diamond. Black Diamond do a great job, and Black Diamond have better build quality, but Lecky are lighter, and I just find the kind of the shark grip nicer for like a an uphill flow, and I would use them in hill reps in the Alps and things like that because look, you got to train with the stuff you race with. So I'm a lucky guy. What about you?
Yeah, I'm coming from both, right? So when I first got my first set of Carbon Z poles, which was the Carbon Z Black Diamond poles, I loved them, thought they were brilliant. They did me, everything I did with them, I enjoyed. I really liked using them. I did an FKT over in the Mam Turks a couple of years ago, and it was a big day. It was a 60K run, something like 3,500 meters of climbing, and it's something like that. Got the FKT, right? Was sitting on a wall, put my poles there, and then I was just taking a break, having a bottle of Coke or something. And then it was time to get back in the van, and I left the poles leaning up against the wall. I went back for them. A couple hours later, they were gone, right? Somebody took them. I don't blame anyone
There's
for taking them. They're great poles.
thieves in Ireland.
Yeah,
Oh my
Thieves in Ireland, in the
god,
middle of nowhere,
things have
in the middle of nowhere in
changed.
Mayo.
Things have
Yeah.
changed.
So great opportunity to try the Lecky poles because at the time the Lecky poles and the Shark Rip they were kind of like making waves everywhere. So I tried them out, and honestly, for me, it was like wow, it was like a eureka moment. It was like, man, I can't believe I haven't been using these until now because there was such an advantage I found with the hand glove. I don't know what you call it, the shark grip, whatever. It's it's brilliant. It's like the glove, the hand, everything is taking the pressure off your forearms. It's taking the pressure off your shoulders. It's just you're in more at one with the poles when you're hiking. Like, and I find it's really good. Yeah, and again, Leckies do a really good job at like. I'm 5'2". They make a pole like 110 centimeters. Like it's very hard for me to actually get poles. I remember Gavin Byrne taking the piss out of me, asking me, "Did I get them custom made because I was so small?" But no, for me, it's I'm definitely a Lecky man. I'm definitely a Lecky
Custom made or just cut?
man.
Right. Next question for you. And look, this is an interesting one. Whenever this question came in, I forget who maybe asked it. It might have been Lionel or something, but um, who are you thinking about as pacers for Western States? Have you
Yeah,
even thought about this? Like, have you thought about this?
I
I have
haven't thought
never
about
even crossed
Pacers.
my
Yeah,
mind at this point.
yeah. I was thinking would you be pacing? But then I'm thinking you're more than likely crewing, so I'm guessing your crew, and I haven't asked you, right? So I'm pretty much asking you live now that you're crewing me. I know you were going to, but I actually never asked you. I just assumed, yeah, of course he's crewing me because you did a stellar job in at TDS, unbelievable job. So I'm looking for the same again. But no, I actually haven't thought about Pacers, like but I know that Paddy O'Leary is over there, and I'm sure Paddy is going to be down in Squaw Valley or Olympic Valley. So I would imagine if I get in there in time, Paddy will Paddy will crew or will pace me. But it all depends, like on how close it is to the day I get my spot. If it's last minute, it might be hard to get pacers. But I think it's one of those races where the community is so huge. There's always going to be somebody there. There's going to be somebody else probably in the wait list that didn't get in and they're going to offer their services up. But all I'll say is I hope they're fast.
Well, I mean that's why that's why basically you're relegating me to crewing duty. I I don't even know, like, for a 15-hour states or whatever, what is the pace in the last section? But like, regardless of that, I'm down for crewing. I'll be live streaming the ice bandana hashtag Irish ice bandana. That's what we're going with for this one, and I'll jump in and pace you to the finish when crewing duties are finished, and maybe you've slowed down a little bit, but get in there early, get the DM out to Paddy O'Leary, and there'll be no shortage of people wanting to pace, and that's an exciting one. So, next question, I'm gonna just shoot from it. You can think about the next one yourself. So, yeah, this was an interesting one from Pat Carroll in the WhatsApp community. How are you going to heat train for Western states in Ireland? How are you going to do it?
Again, like I think because I'm going out there first thing June, right? I'm going out there like 1st of June. So I'm gonna have pretty much 3.5 weeks of heat training. And it's gonna be hot that time of year for Western states. So like I think that's enough. I don't need 6 months of heat training. Like it's the same as like getting altitude. You only need a couple of weeks. Yeah, there you go. So you only need a couple of weeks. And I think if I'm out there early enough, which I will be, and I'll be doing my recce's, I'll be doing my long runs, I'll be doing exactly what I did in Chamonix, but I'll be doing it over there, and it'll probably be like in the high 30s, high 40s. So there you go. Like that's how we're going to do it by being there.
Yeah, no, that's it. I think the science says 3 weeks of heat training. So I think if you're going out start of the month, you're going to be good. So over to you.
Yeah, so I saw a cool question in the group there where they were talking about, look, the prices are gone through the roof in UTMB races and all other races, and people are saying, is there, would you prefer to do a race or an adventure, if you know what I mean? So, like, instead of signing up for a race, would you prefer to do something like the Pennine Way FKT or something like that?
Personally, I mean, a race is a race. Part of the reason for doing a race is it's a fixed date. There's competition. There's aid stations. You can benchmark your time against hundreds of other people that have done it. Maybe you're doing it to get stones. Maybe you're doing it to qualify for another event like Tour for Hard Rock. So, I mean, I base my season around races, and I just think of personal routes or projects as like fun things to do. So if I'm like doing a 100 miler or even a 200 miler or something that's basically maybe spanning that 50 hour plus type of thing, I'll look at an adventure as a way of training with weight, getting out there, maybe with a bivy, spent doing an overnight. So it's kind of like as a fun project for me.
Yeah.
I focus on racing. I like the experience of competing, and you don't get that in if you're just racing yourself or racing the time as an FKT.
Yeah. Look, I 100% agree with you. Like, as much as I do love, like, I love long runs and I love training, but I love racing, man. There's something about it. It's like it's all that hard work, all that time preparation, and the excitement then of signing up to a race, doing all that, getting over to maybe experience another country, and you're doing it with hundreds, if not thousands, of other people, like-minded people who want to challenge each other, want to race against the best in the world. Like there's very few things as cool as racing. Like I've done plenty of FKTs during COVID, especially. There was nothing else happening, and you weren't really meant to be doing a lot. So FKTs were brilliant, and they were brilliant at keeping me motivated and trying to go for certain times in this. But it never compares to racing. Racing is just completely different. It's way better.
Yeah, and look, we're running short on time. We've got 6 or so minutes left, so we're going to crack on with a few of these. But anyone that's listening, if they're interested in any of Ricky's FKTs, stick Ricki Win into YouTube, and you're going to see a really cool documentary about an FKT where you did how much, Bert?
12,000 meters of gain and loss. Yeah.
There you go. So that's the type of shit that we all love. So stick Ricky's name into YouTube and watch that documentary because it's pretty cool. Next question, and it relates to fueling for the race. So I know the answer to this. Anyone that knows you knows the answer to this. It might be like a scud question here, but favorite carb loading food before a race?
Well, if anyone was following me when I was over in Chamonix, you will have seen that it comes in a bowl and it looks like porridge, and it is porridge. Like it just works. Breakfast, dinner, tea, whatever, porridge works. It's good carbs, it's good fuel, and it's good for me.
Ricki Win, hashtag Irish Ice Bandana, hashtag Porridge King.
What's yours? What's your favorite carb load, pre-carb load? Yeah, pre-race carb load.
I mean, on long runs and races, my breakfast is always porridge. Keep it
Yeah.
simple, some porridge, some peanut butter, and that's it. Keep it simple. Couple of black coffees, that's it. Makes you go to the toilet. If you do that every week for your long run, when it comes to race day and you want to do that, it's super simple. You know that if I do this 2 hours, in an hour this is going to happen, another hour this is going to happen, and it's simple as that. So um, I'm taking porridge on that one as well. Uh, Next up, Ricki, have you got another one?
Um.
We've got one on the Golden Trail series. Will we tackle that one?
Yeah. Let's go for it. Yeah.
So for anyone listening, Golden Trail put out their 2025 calendar, which is, I mean, I've got some content that I'm thinking around this one because it's not washing. Does it matter where the races are if the racing is exciting in terms of the Golden Trail series? Ricki, what you got?
Of course it does. Of course it does. It's called a Golden Trail World Series. They're supposed to be like these unbelievable prestigious races. So it definitely matters where the races are. And even let's say the caliber of races. It can't be just a Mickey Mouse race here, there, and everywhere just because they're getting good runners. It's got to have everything. It's got to be steeped in history, steeped in prestige, steeped in excitement, steeped in, you know what I mean? What something like Sierra Zanal or Zagama or something like that. They're what make the races. Like, yeah.
Totally agree. And look, Golden Trail posted that out today, and I thought, look, if anyone remembers in 2018 when Golden Trail announced this Golden Trail series, this new series, the text that they put on their website was that this was the best, the iconic races of the globe and the best athletes, bringing them together to compete. That's not the case anymore because over the past 2 years, we've lost Dolomites in Italy, like the most iconic of the Golden Trail races in Italy. And we've also lost Mont Blanc Marathon just this week or just this year. So they're not making the choices based on the race and things like that. So it's, for me, it's not that it doesn't add up. And I posted this in response to their post on Instagram, And you know who liked it? The GOAT. Killian Jornet agrees with my point.
Yeah.
Nothing else matters. Nothing
That,
else matters. It's a good day when that
yeah.
happens.
And enough said there, because if that man is commenting and agreeing with you, then like Golden Trail Series directors, organizers, they need to be taking notes, man. They need to be seeing that even Killian Jornet thinks this is crap. Like,
Yeah.
it, I'm so sad to see Martin de Mont Blanc gone out of that. Like, I mean, it is actually really sad to see that race gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awful sad.
How can you have the Golden Trail Series, the iconic races, and not have a race in France, the top trail running nation in the world, and in the Alps near Mont Blanc, the highest mountain in the Alps? Do you know what I mean? It just doesn't add up. And we just see a question in there in the chat: what are Mickey Mouse races? Look, we're not throwing any shade on other races. What we just mean is like the prestige and the history around Mont Blanc Marathon, Zagama, Sierre Zinal, Dolomites Run. These are races that are steeped in history. They have course records that date back to people that were the Killians of the 70s and the 80s. So that's kind of what we mean in that respect. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
just
exactly.
sad that it's great to add in new races and bring things like Mammoth Trail Fest and the Headlands race into the mix. But if you actually just turn the series on its head and replace all of the iconic races with new races, what actually is it anymore? It's not what it originally set out to be. I'm all for growing the series, and you could add in a new race and maybe cycle out. Maybe you don't do Dolomites Run every year. It alternates with something else, and that way you've got the opportunity to bring in other markets and expand into Asia and America while still keeping these iconic races and the races that we love to watch and the athletes love to compete at. So, look, it's a tricky one. I'm not too into how they've tackled it, but maybe they'll pivot whenever they see how things go. But Ricki, we've run to time. Do you have anything else to say before we call time on this?
All I can say is 30 minutes. It's hard to squeeze all this into 30 minutes. You know what I mean? It's we have got one hell of a season coming up, man. I'm telling you now, it's going to be the best one ever. I've been saying this from the day I started trail running. Every year I said, best year of my life, best year of my life, best year of my life, and it just keeps getting better and better and better and better. And I'm super excited to share some of it with you as well next season. Like, man, it's gonna blow up. It's gonna blow up.
Year on year, we're just living life and enjoying it, and it's all around like trail and all that mountain stuff and all that kind of thing. So, Patrick in the chat, this needs to be an hour. Patrick, this is a Friday. People have things to do. We're rounding up the news. We're answering your questions. If you want to go longer, hit the links in bio. You got Spotify, you got YouTube, you got Apple Podcasts now. There's a monthly show that goes out, which is 90 plus minutes. So go and subscribe. We see Troy in the chat, Mid Parker Pod. You want more content? Go watch Troy's podcast because it's a good show as well. But on that note, guys, have a great weekend and we will see you next week.